Okay, welcome everybody. This is Monday night and we're going to practice together, and as always this practice is offered, and that means that you can just take what you need, take what you want. So at any stage, if you need to switch off the video, get up and get a cup of tea and come back, please really feel free to put your toe in. And perhaps tonight you may be able to stay for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And perhaps as you practice this will increase. And remembering this isn't a competition with ourselves. In fact, in a sense, we're sort of putting out the welcome mat to meet ourselves, to greet ourselves. And we're practicing. So whatever sort of a day we've had, we might have been really busy, really stressful. We might be aware of lots of tension now. That's all okay. This isn't about being perfect or even trying to be perfect. It's about deliberately guiding our attention so that we can be more present, more awake, and more alive in our lives. And so first of all, we practice settling the body in some way. Whether you're standing or lying or sitting. Settling the body, the feet on the floor. And so inviting you to move your attention to the feet on the floor. As if your eyes and ears were here. And noticing what these feet are like and this contact with the floor. It's very interesting. Cool, warm, tingling. Noticing the contact with the surface, maybe. The surface on the floor. The mind will wander off, that's okay. This is part of mindfulness, that we slowly begin to notice that we've gotten caught up in the ruminating maybe about what went wrong today, or the thinking about next week or next year. This is very stressful. It's very stressful for any of us to think about, and of course to imagine what might happen. what might happen. So as best we can, we're redirecting our attention to being present for a moment at a time. And this is enough for now. So maybe moving from the awareness of sensation of feet to calf, knee, thigh, and bottom in contact with the chair. It's so interesting that we sit so much, and yet we're often so removed from really knowing what this is like. So pausing now so that we can sort of get to know this from the inside out. Maybe the weight is more on one side, one hip than the other. What are you noticing about the weight of gravity, the weight of the body going down? Helping us to stay literally on the earth, grounded. Sometimes it feels like we're like the astronauts, just floating away somewhere in our head. Sitting and knowing that we're sitting. And then moving from the bottom to maybe the spine, the back, the shoulders. And then to the head and over to the face. And to the front of the torso. Pausing so that we're allowing ourselves to quite deliberately sense this body, to feel into this breathing, living body-mind. The head and the heart, the body, all here. And so no matter what sort of a day you've had, It's so interesting that we can still have moments of presence, a little more present perhaps right now. Being with this experience of sitting in an open, allowing way as best we can. Practicing allowing, practicing maybe patience with ourselves, with this body. Maybe even practicing patience with our impatience. And if you need to move, you can move mindfully. And if you've gotten lost in ruminating or arguing in the mind, that is not a problem. We can begin again. Deeply generous and deeply understanding of how it is to be human. We worry, we regret, we compare, and so on. And so maybe staying with this sense of the entire body breathing, full of sensation, alive. Or you may like to place a hand on maybe below on the abdomen. This can be useful if your mind is wandering a lot, or if it is, you can always stand up. Sometimes standing, and especially walking mindfully, can be so helpful when we're agitated. So either sitting or standing, maybe exploring placing a hand on the abdomen if that's something you would like to do. Sort of brings us even closer to this body breathing, more intimate. You'd be feeling directly this sense of warmth from the body. And this gentle movement. The body always breathing. Nothing to make better or improve in this moment. Not the breath, not yourself. Being present. A moment at a time with this body, this breath. Bringing this center stage in our field of awareness. Generously, you can do this multiple times. Beginning again. Taking our seat in the world, in the family of things. And as we come towards the end, inviting you to consider something that happened today that thinking back now, you can maybe appreciate. Maybe someone sent you a card, or I was made a cup of coffee. I appreciated that. Something that maybe is relatively ordinary. And just sort of soaking this up as best you can. I'm just going to ring the bell to bring this formal practice to an end.